So doing something a little bit different today, or rather tonight. Uh, I've mentioned on the site that because I happen to work in a place that has its own IMAX movie theater, I see a lot more films that are in theaters currently than the rest of the guys do. And so I pitched this idea to Casey after we finished filming Split Second and Mario Kart Wii on Saturday. I was like, hey, you should lend me the SD camera so I can do like some vlog style, video stuff. Because we only filmed 2 things, and I thought it was a bit lame to leave the week with just 2 videos for the site. So, I'm gonna talk about some movies that I've seen. I'm gonna do 5 reviews, 5 or 6, and post these on the site. I'm also gonna post them on our YouTube channel that we never use. And if people like it, maybe we'll do more. And so this afternoon I went with a buddy of mine, Johnny. We went to go see World War Z. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the movie, sort of like vlog style. If you've ever seen like a review like this, basically I'm gonna talk about the movie, our impressions of it. Obviously this video isn't going to have any clips because the movie's still in theaters. It's not on DVD or Blu-ray. It's not like we can just capture clips and do that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a little bit different, like I said. But this is a movie that's in theaters, so if it sounds like this might be something you like, you can go check it out. So World War Z. It was actually alright. I thought it was okay. I mean, I've been sort of privately, complaining, with me and some of my friends and coworkers. That's like, it's a PG-13 zombie movie. It's gonna be so dumb. And it was actually not bad. It feels sort of like, because it is a PG-13 zombie movie, and it is sort of big and epic in scope, but like it never shows any blood or gore or anything. It feels sort of like a movie that has been edited down for showing on like TNT or something a little bit. I mean, it's good. It's not bad. I actually enjoyed it, a lot more than I thought I would, so I have to stop bitching about it, being awful now, because it's actually not bad. It's just, just beware that it's a PG-13 zombie movie, which, if you're into sort of like blood and gore, and like seeing like viscera, in your crazy zombie apocalypse film, you'll probably be a little bit disappointed. And also, if you're a fan of the original book, because this is based on a book by Max Brooks, World War Z, which is sort of a big deal with the nerd community, you'll probably be disappointed. Because, it's very different. I mean, World War Z, I've read a little bit of the book. I haven't read the whole thing. But it's sort of autobiographical short stories from, random people told, like, talking about their experiences, during the zombie apocalypse. And so it's, for a movie, they would have had to do it as a bunch of, like, short vignettes or something. I actually think it'd work much better as like a 10-episode TV series or something, but instead of a movie. I guess if you were to do like a really faithful to form adaptation of the book. And so like, if you're a fan of the, like I said, if you're a fan of the book, if you're a fan of like, really violent, gory, lots of blood flying everywhere, zombie films, this is not going to be a movie you'll like. But it was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was well done, well made, and it feels big and epic. That's a word I don't like to use a whole lot, but it does feel, really, like the scope of the story is really huge. It does feel like, sort of like a World War, level story. It also, feels a bit like Quarantine a little bit, like the tone of the movie that they set. It just, I don't know if anyone, watching this as ever went to go see Quarantine, it was sort of like a epidemic, like super virus, kills lots of people, and it's about like these CDC agents, collecting information about it, trying to come up with a vaccine and stuff. And the same sort of thing happens in World War Z. Spoilers. There's gonna be some spoilers in this review. I'll talk about he's actually a UN agent, but he's essentially looking for a cure. Brad Pitt's character in this movie, and and he's sort of globe-trotting. Goes to an army base in South Korea. Where they get a hint that some guys heard about it really early on, and then they end up leading him to Jerusalem, which is somehow magically heard about this outbreak super early, and so they build like these giant walls, and you can see that in the trailer, like some noise sets the zombies off, and they start building up like a mountain of shambling corpses trying to get over these giant concrete walls. It was not bad. Like trying to think of some more stuff I can say about it before I started getting heavy into some spoilers. Like I said, like it feels big and epic, but it's PG-13, which is kind of dumb. But if you're like, if for instance you're not really into blood and gore, or if like for some reason you don't like, you can't go see or don't like seeing rated R movies, it's weirdly family friendly. Like, okay, spoiler warning, from here on out. There's this one scene, for instance, where Brad Pitt's character, Jerry, his name is, he's like got a crowbar. He's like sneaking through this hospital near the end of the movie, like the last bit of it, which is frankly my favorite part of it, because it's really hella suspenseful. Like most of the movie feels sort of big and epic and scary, but not really scary so much. Whereas like the last little bit, it's sort of like sneaking through corridors, holding your breath because there's like a monster around just around the corner, wants to eat you. So anyways, there's this part where, for instance, he's got like a crowbar and he jabs like one end of it into like the skull of the zombie. But like like it's sort of off screen, like he's like sort of up here, like holding it, but like it gets stuck in and he's trying to yank it out, and so he can swing at another zombie that's running at him. But like you never see it like actually, you never see like any blood spray anywhere in this movie. And like for instance, when he's like jiggling this crowbar trying to yank it out, like it, all like the all that stuff is sort of off screen a little bit. Like all you see is like his hands with his crowbar trying, looks like he's trying to yank it out of something. It took me a second to realize what was going on, which is that's like the one big problem I have with this movie. Like you could leave it exactly as it is. Don't change the language. You don't have to swear or show lots of gore and blood splattering everywhere. But like when like you cut away, or it before something big happens that has an impact on what's going on, or like it's off screen what's going on and you have to sort of figure out what's going on, it's a little weird. Like it's not, I can't say it's bad, but it's a little strange that having to sort of think super hard about what's going on and have it be like a weird thing. You realize later what's after a second what's going on, which was unfortunate, but whatever. They wanted a general audience zombie film, and I guess they got it. I mean, you can take your kids to this. I mean, it isn't really what I'd call a kid-friendly movie, though. Like, it's super heavy, super dark, and kind of violent for a PG-13. I mean, like, it does like the Hunger Games thing where, right when it's about to show something really bloody happening, like the camera cuts, like it'll cut, or like there's a lot of shaky cam, which I'm not a fan of that at all. That was really, kind of annoying for me personally. Was like, oh, we don't want to show any, like, you don't want to be able to make out that people are dying, and so we'll just do like, shake the camera around like we're Michael Bay. And yeah, I saw it in 3D, and it didn't make me sick at all. But I know, like, there are lots of people, even just friends of mine, who can't watch like shaky cam 3D because it gives them really bad motion sickness. And so, for a lot of reasons, like the way they decided to make it, I think it could have done better. And again, I think it would have been better as a rated R. Like, when it turns out, in a year after this has been on Blu-ray for a while, and when they release a director's cut, I will not bat a fucking eye, because it'll be like, oh, well, here's the good version, the even better version, where they don't have to cut away before you see, like, some teeth piercing flesh. Which, though, that, all that being said, like, there are some cool bits, some cool, like, the cinematography in this movie is really nice. Like, use of, like, lighting and shadow. Like, I mentioned earlier that they, like, Brad Pitt's character, he gets on, like, a military flight and goes to North Korea looking for a thing, for some information on, where Patient Zero, was located and whatever. And, everything's all dark at the airbase, and they land, but there's, like, a sort of, like, one spotlight sort of thing, and, like, I just noticed thinking it was, like, a really just beautiful shot. Like, it was really well made, really well acted. All the actors in this were really great, especially, I don't know the chick's name, but, when Brad Pitt goes to Israel, he meets up with, he's sort of being escorted through the city by this, like, shaved head Israeli chick, and, they sort of team up for, the rest of the movie. And, that stuff, was really cool. Their little, team up, they, like, jump on the last passenger plane out of Jerusalem as it's being overrun by the undead. But no, it was a pretty good movie, I'd say. Like, if you're a fan of, if you're a hardcore zombie fan, like, it's sort of 50-50 on whether or not you'll like it. But if, for instance, Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 version, had too much swearing, too much violence, and too much nudity and sex in it for you, go check out World War Z. I mean, it's not earth-shattering, it's not going to change the world or anything, but, it was okay. I don't regret having seen it. And, I will say, though, probably don't go and see it in 3D, especially if you're sensitive to, like, shaky cam, motion sickness type stuff. But, so anyways, I'm gonna turn this camera off, then turn it right back on, and do another review for some other movies I saw over the last couple weeks. And if you like this video, contact us on Facebook. Tell us what you think. Leave a comment on the video on the site. Or send an email to us and say yes, like this, did not like this, would like more in this vein. But so thanks for watching. Bye.